Coasters, very evenly matched, and we'll see who's able to come out on top today. On this side for the Coasters, coming in with nearly 100 all-time titles combined on the roster for Carolina. They came into this event leading the entire South region at a 5-3 match record, 33-23 in games, leading the South region and very close to having that playoff position. You see the spin of the bags with our first matchup, Nick Petuski and David Morse, ready to take on Moses Esueta and Corey Ballard of the Arizona Burn. And here's the first throw of the competition today. On the other side for the Arizona Burn, they came into Portland ranked 3rd in the West region. Just 7 all-time titles combined on this team, so that's one of the storylines when you look at these two teams. The Coasters, a lot of past experience and, enough to show from it. And then you look at Arizona, a lot of unproven talent looking to make their name this season. See Moses Esueta and David Morse left to right here on your screen. Morse, final bag of the round is through. That will be a wash for the first round. On the other side here, you see Nick Petuski on the left, Corey Ballard on the right. Ready to start things off for round number 2. Corey Ballard finished 2nd in state of California as an advanced player in his career so far. Top 10 placement as well as in some of these postseason tournaments. Still no titles to his name, though, looking to make his mark in the ACL still. Just 21 years old out of Fillmore, California. Into round 3 now, 10-round format in these ACL Pro Team matchups. And you'll see the strategies from all these players start to change when you compare it to the roundless 21 cancellation style format to now you got 10 rounds and you got to take your opponent down.
Yeah, what we're going to see is somebody's going to jump ahead in points, and all of a sudden that gameplay is probably going to change just to hold on to that lead, and there won't be a whole lot of risk taken.
This is potentially a big round for Moses Esueta. In round number 3, there's a 4-bagger. Clutch throwing there from Moses. Morse trying to limit the damage, and he'll cut it to just 4 points given up. 4-0 start. Esueta and Ballard in the lead for Arizona. 7-game series today. We'll play all 7 games regardless of who takes it. Could go 4-0. It could go to game 7 and have it all determined in the final game. We'll have to see. Throw there from Ballard is good. Here's Petuski. Petuski in pro teams play just a hair over a 9 PPR. Does have a positive DPR, though. He's been effective. Chance here for Carolina to maybe work themselves back into this game here in round 4. Petuski needs to clutch up, though. Right down the middle and in. Ballard looking to collect that right side bag. Try to limit the damage to 2 potentially. Couldn't quite get it. Chance here now for Petuski to even this one up in round 4. And
oh man,
that is a brutal finish for Carolina. Chance to tie it up, and instead it'll be a wash heading into the back half of this game. Moses Esueta, one-time title holder in the ACL, took it in an open in doubles competition. Usually competes with his brother Peter. But here today in teams competition, he's matched up with Corey Ballard. We saw David Morse on the live stream yesterday on our court in pro doubles. He was doing very well with his doubles partner, Ethan Walker.
Very impressed by Ethan Walker yesterday.
Morse needs to push at least one of these through to wash it out, and he can't. So another 4-point round put up by Moses Zazueta. Make it 8-0 heading into round 6. And again, Chase, we'll see the strategy change throughout these games. Into the back half now, with an 8-point lead, you think we might see a little bit more defensive play out of Arizona here?
Absolutely. There's a block bag right there. He's probably going to push this bag in and probably leave another blocker in front, kind of a replacement bag if he can. Nope, he just goes in.
Patuski in there as well, just going bag for bag now. It's interesting, the strategy from both of these teams. You know, the first game you have Patuski and Morse. They were both round 6 and 7 draft picks for Carolina. And then on the other side, Corey Ballard and Moses Zazueta, round 3 and round 7. So neither team really starting with their captains, their top-tier players. We'll see how they match up later on.
It's interesting because we saw that early in the team's season, a lot of people are putting their best players up front, and I think these teams started to realize that they needed to be a little bit more thoughtful with their team picking. So you see a lot of the top teams now in the middle of the games, in the middle of the matches.
Showing a little bit of faith in, down their lineup, saying, hey, go get us a win and start this off with a little bit of momentum. Here's Morse. Lays it up in front. Didn't want to knock one of Zazueta's bags through. Here's Moses up top. Airmail, he missed it off the backside. David Morse just trying to take what he can get at this point, and what a pickup!
Oh, wow.
By Zazueta, my goodness. 14-1, that's a 6 spot. And I believe Zazueta has put up all 14 of these points, all 11, I should say, of these points for Arizona. Zazueta has been killing it in pro teams play, over 40% four-bag percentage.
Wow. That's Mac Guy numbers there.
Yeah, it is exactly right. And in a 10-round format, if you can be throwing that way and be that elite, it is going to be tough to contend with.
Nice bag.
Corey Ballard really hasn't even had to do too much with the way that Zazueta has been throwing in this game. And man, Ballard almost collected both of them. Got jammed up in the hole though. Back and forth communication with Morse and Patuski. He knocked in both of Corey Ballard's, so that is not what he was looking to do. 20-1.
Yeah, he was asking his partner David what he should do, and David just said, "Got to do something here," and that was something, I guess.
This one may be done before 10 rounds is even over. Zazueta has been on fire, and then right there on cue, he drifts off to the left.
I don't think there's a whole lot of pressure here. This game's already over at this point, I believe.
It would be a miraculous comeback for Carolina in game one, but that's the advantage of teams format. You lose this first game, you're still very much in this matchup.
And that should do it.
That's the end of game one. Arizona takes the victory. And they take an advantage early in this team's matchup, 1-0, but we've got a lot more coming up between the Burn and the Coasters. Stay with us. Back live in Portland, Oregon for the 2023 ACL Bag Brawl, Game 2 between the Arizona. We've got Brandon Davis and Christian Brown for Arizona ready to take on Kaylee Hunter and Chad Hunt from Carolina. First game between Ballard and Zasueta for Arizona took the W over Patuski and Morse. So Arizona leads 1-0. And as we wrap up these warm-up bags, we'll be ready to go. Kaylee Hunter on your right for Carolina. 3-time title holder. She'll be looking to pick up a singles title later on today in our bracket. But right now it's all about the Coasters. It's interesting, you look at the stats for Carolina this season. They're tops in this South region, but they're 11th out of the 16 teams in PPR, DPR, and 4-bag percentage. The stats haven't been astounding, but they have found a way to win. Here we go with the spin. And it looks like Kaylee Hunter will start things off. Nope. Start with Arizona. See Brandon Davis throwing against Kaylee Hunter here. Part of the team's world champion Woodchucks last season. Brandon Davis trying to bring that somehow to the Arizona Burn this year. But so far it has not been helping. Third in the region. Only the top 2 teams in each region make the playoffs to get to that championship position. We'll head into round 2, still tied at 0-0. Here's Christian Brown. One of the unique things about Christian Brown, he takes 2 steps for every throw. See a lot of times people who take no steps or maybe just one. You see Chad Hunt kind of just stays in that same position, but Christian Brown kind of gets his momentum going all the way from the backside of the board.
Yeah, he's starting way behind the board, isn't he? It's very interesting. I don't think I've seen that before.
You got to think that's something he must have developed early on when he started playing and just kind of kept it going. 2-0 start, though. Christian Brown scores the first 2 points of this one. Again, Arizona leads 1-0 in this series. We'll see if Kaylee Hunter and Chad Hunt can even things up at 1. Kaylee Hunter, the first pick in round 4 for Carolina. One of the leaders of this amazing uprise of young female players in the ACL. Just 21 years old out of Thomasville, North Carolina.
Okay.
There's a nice airmail from Kaylee Hunter.
Think you can get it? Yeah. Not go around it. Not gonna tell you.
Davis with a nice shot. See if Hunter can finish out the round strong. Avoids bringing in that last Arizona bag, but she's able to even things up at 2. We approach the halfway mark in game number 2. Chad Hunt will retake lead bag. Chad Hunt won the first Open in doubles in Rock Hill with Carolina Coasters captain Jamie Graham earlier on this season. Throws up a short block in front of the hole. See how Christian Brown works through it. Brown snagged 2 before he flew off the backside of the board, but they'll take that. Make it 3-2. Every point counts here in 10-round format. Brandon Davis with the first bag. And Chase, he's actually the older brother of Eric Davis.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, one of the few sets of siblings playing in the ACL Pro Division.
I don't know about few. There's quite a few siblings.
Yeah, but when you think about it, though, almost 300 pros.
That's true.
So even if, I don't know off the top of my head, even if there's 20 out of 300 is not too much. Kaylee Hunter, final bag of round number 5. Just lays it up in front. Make it 8-2 now. 5-point round there, big time showing from Brandon Davis. Chad Hunt's one of the most unique guys you can meet here in the ACL. He's a music artist. He does shows. He records. He does music videos. He's doing a lot of stuff in the music industry. Double 4-bagger there. Heading into round 7, 8-2. Far different from the way that the first game kind of got out of hand here. Davis, first bag is through. Davis, one of the smartest people you can meet in the ACL, a degree in mathematics and a minor in secondary education. Hunter with a chance here. Got that one. Trying to work through this tough position that her team is in late in game number 2. Big time opportunity if she can somehow drag that left blue bag as well as hers. Not quite. Not the worst scenario though. Make it 8-4. She's able to pick up 2. Heading into round number 8. First bag in round 8 from Chad Hunt. Hunt's a guy who loves being the underdog. He thinks it makes him go harder and helps him prove people wrong. For any NBA fans out there, it's interesting to see Christian Brown on our ACL court after another Christian Brown with the Denver Nuggets, just 1 game away now from the NBA title.
Gonna take a look at this.
Not bad, though. Yeah, we're good. I'm not tripping.
Looks like they may have been discussing that back bag hanging half on and half off. Hunt up top. He's got the airmail. What a shot.
I think he wanted to go a little deeper and try to and one it.
Yeah, it looks like it could have been an option. And then
and ones himself.
Christian Brown sliding too far to the back. Big time round from Chad Hunt. Make it 8-7. 2 more rounds to go. Both sides will get 1 more shot at it.
Nice.
Davis can't quite collect bag 2. Here's a shot for Carolina to maybe take the lead. Davis sends up a nice block, going to force potentially an airmail from Kaylee Hunter. Oh, and it looks like Chad Hunt's telling her to try to maybe step out and work through that angle. Hunter somehow, she weaves through the angle and makes it through. Chance here for Carolina to take the lead. Here's Morse, or not Morse, excuse me, Davis. Really tough finish to that round. All of a sudden, it's 12-8. Chad Hunt, final bags of the round, trying to keep this lead for Carolina and even the series up at 1. Christian Brown is in a very difficult position. It's tough to put up a 4 spot in this scenario. And that'll pretty much do it. Chad Hunt comes through. So just like that, Carolina works their way back into this matchup late in game number 2. We are all evened up at 1 apiece. Arizona and Carolina locked up here. We have 5 more games coming up, and we'll see who can finish things out when we come back. Back live in Portland, Oregon for the 2023 ACL Bag Brawl. Game 3 between the Arizona Burn and the Carolina Coasters. After Carolina just evened things up at 1, we've got Derek Holland and Brandon Jones ready to take on Eric Davis and Derek King, one of the top teams for the Coasters. Eric Davis, one of the captains for Carolina, teaming with Derek King, their third-round pick. 5-time ACL title holder. We just saw Brandon Davis from the Arizona Burn, his older brother, go down in game number 2. We'll see if Eric Davis can continue that momentum for Carolina.
I'm surprised they didn't put the Davis brothers up against each other. That would have been fun.
That would have been pretty funny. Eric Davis, one of the top players from last year and continuing it this year. Top 12 in doubles and top 10 in singles. But here's Derek King for Carolina on the right. Derek Holland on the left for Arizona. Again, if you're just joining us, 10-round format in pro teams action. 4-0 start for Holland and Jones. See Brandon Jones on the right for Arizona. Won several regionals in singles and doubles in his career. Had a passion for cornhole since he was 12 years old. Struggling a little bit though, kind of plays a dirty style in pro teams format, just a 7.5 4-bag percentage. You got to think, throwing against Eric Davis, if you're not putting them in the hole, you're going to struggle to keep up. Here's Eric Davis with a chance to retake the lead on this final bag. And he's got it. Big round 2 for Eric Davis. Make it 6-4 now. See Derek Holland on the left for Arizona, their top pick in the most recent ACL draft, the 6th pick in the first round. Part of a father-son team with him and his son Josh, been playing together for 10 years. King going up top. Airmail finally drops down after a second. Here's Holland. The two Derricks throwing against each other. Holland stepping outside, trying to find an angle. He does. A little fist bump after. It'll be a wash, though, as there was one on for each. Eric Holland and Derek King right up on the board. Here's Eric Davis starting off round 4 with a 6-4 advantage. Eric Davis tied for 6th most all-time in ACL titles. Tied with Ryan Windsor, Cheyenne Bubenheim, and just one title behind his doubles partner, Brett Guy. He's got a unique, flashy play style. And also, he's got one of the best push shots in all of the ACL. He can drag a bag from below that ACL logo. And as you see there, he can even roll a bag. Unique skill set out of the 19-year-old from Thomasville, North Carolina. Two roll bags in a row go down. Eric Davis is feeling it right now. See how Jones finishes this round. Gets one. But that will still be a 7-point round from Eric Davis. Derek King on the right for the Coasters. He's got to be feeling pretty comfortable, able to just put his feet up and say, Eric, you got us here. Derek King, just 22 years old. He's got 13 years of experience with cornhole. Started playing at the age of 9. Another wash on this side with the Derricks. It's still 13-4 heading into the back half of this game. Again, if you're just joining us, Arizona and Carolina tied at 1 game apiece in this 7-game series. And at this portion of the matchup, it's looking like Carolina may be taking that 2-1 advantage. Need 4 wins to pick up the match win for your team. All 7 games will be played. With Carolina already over a 2-game advantage in their region over second-place Florida coming into this event, they were one of the few teams that actually had a chance with a win this weekend to clinch a playoff spot in the championships. (15-4) here in round 7. Look down at the lineup selection from both these teams. They waited to use a lot of their captains until Game 6. Doug Zaft and Bill Hadley, the captains for Arizona, along with Ty Lopez. They don't even make an appearance until Game 6 and 7 in this series lineup. An interesting decision. There's a good chance they might be going down 2-1 here.
Yeah, it's interesting when you're playing that far down because it's either no pressure's on you or all the pressure's on you.
Very true. Showing a lot of trust in their Arizona Burn teammates to at least put themselves in position to have success. 20-4 now. Eric Davis is really on a roll. We'll see if Derek King can finish this one out in round 9 or if we'll go to a airmail display in round 10. And King and Holland have just been going back and forth, bag for rounds now. Well, and there's the one mistake, and that'll do it in round number 9. Derek King and Eric Davis take the win in game number 3, and all of a sudden, Carolina's got a 2-1 advantage. But Arizona is coming up next, trying to even things up with Cody Morris and Ryan Tucker. Stay with us. Back live at the ACL Bag Brawl here in Portland, Oregon. Game 4 coming up between the Arizona Burn and the Carolina Coasters. Carolina has the 2-1 advantage, but we'll see if Ryan Tucker and Cody Morris for Arizona can change things up. Maybe bring us back to an even 2-2. They're taking on Kevin Whitaker and Berkeley Pear from the Carolina Coasters. Berkeley Pear on the left, you see in the Coasters jersey. We'll see Whitaker on the other side. Looks like maybe the final warm-up bag's being thrown now.
There's our spin.
Arizona trying to get back into this game. You never want to go down 3-1 in a series. Kevin Whitaker, the 9th round pick of the Carolina Coasters, was the last pick in that round as well. Started playing cornhole back in 2008 at some of the local restaurants and tournaments, but his interest grew as his performance got a little bit better over time. I'm sure that's a story you'll find all over the place with these ACL pros. See Cody Morris on the right for the Arizona Burn, throwing against Berkeley Pear, who was the 3rd round pick from the Coasters this past ACL draft. Berkeley trying to extend this 2-1 lead to a commanding 3-1 lead in this series. Nice little pickup there from Cody Morris. Final bag of round number 2. Here's Berkeley. Oh no, he's going to take a timeout. Seems like maybe Kevin Whitaker's telling him you could get that airmail and drag in 1 or maybe even 2.
Yeah, Kevin wants him to go up, but Berkeley's taking his time here, figuring out what he's going to do.
It seemed like he was, loading up for that shot, and then right as he takes his backswing, he just dropped it on the board and wanted maybe to take one last look at it. Here he goes trying it. He got 1. Lucky to stay on the board, though. Make that a quick 7-0 commanding lead for Ryan Tucker and Cody Morris. See Ryan Tucker on the left for Arizona. He's been a bowler his whole life. He's had several perfect games. Really impressive stuff. We see a lot of times past bowlers or even people who continue to be high-level bowlers transition into cornhole.
Fun fact, I have never thrown a perfect game in bowling. Or cornhole, for that matter. No, I take that back. I did it once in cornhole.
Really?
Yes, once.
Is there video proof?
No.
Then it
You'll
didn't
just
happen.
have to take my word for it.
Throwing a perfect game in either sport is extremely impressive. Especially in a sport like cornhole where, unless you're playing in this 10-round format, it can go a long time. And to have a perfect game like we saw in Erie with Cody Henderson on our court, I think that game went 14 or so rounds, and he was, just on the money.
He was. I don't think he realized that he was throwing a perfect game until after the game when we told him.
Yeah. 11-0 start for Arizona here in round 4.
Looking at this I'm saying the Coasters, this is their only real matchup right here with his score, because Kevin Whitaker has not been looking too on with his accuracy this game.
Berkeley pair trying to come through. Airmail. Oh, he bounces off the backside. Still a positive round for Berkeley, though. Trying to somehow get over this 11-point deficit. Only able to snag one off of that last round, but here's Kevin Whitaker taking over.
Berkeley was trying to get Kevin into it, and Kevin actually took out his AirPods, so you can see he's trying to get a little bit more determined.
Yes, when you take out the AirPods, it's always a sign of a serious...
It is always so funny. I mean, at the last national, we had dudes taking off their hat, taking off their sweatshirt.
Yeah, that was
they
Dylan
do anything
Turpin,
to try
right?
to.
He took out the AirPods first, then he took off the hat next, and
They'd try anything to
I think
get
he took
off.
off his shirt after that. And
It's the weight.
he goes down to his boxers.
You never know what could make you change your whole game up. So throw in there from Kevin Whitaker. Another chance here for Arizona to put some points up. Nice shot from Ryan Tucker. (13-1) advantage. Final back half rounds of these games.
We're going to see a timeout here.
Second timeout already taken from Berkeley Pair. This one, though, much more just a mental timeout, trying to build some camaraderie back up.
Got
James
more of the
Baldwin.
captors coming in, trying to build up his team.
Pressure isn't as much on Berkeley Pair and Kevin Whitaker here. You have the 2-1 advantage, so a loss doesn't really hurt you too much, but you would like to get that commanding 3-1 lead, so you only have to get one of the next four. Somehow they'll have to put together at least 12 points in the next 5 rounds or so. That's not going to start here. Cody Morris putting up 2 more. 15-1, just 6 points away from finishing this one, maybe early.
There goes the hat.
Beat me to it.
Next, the glasses are going to come off.
Yeah, maybe the glasses, maybe some more blurry vision will help him out. You never know.
At that point, you're just in your head.
Yeah.
Whitaker's been playing pretty well in pro teams. He's got over a 34 4-bag percentage.
Sometimes it's not your day.
That's true, yes. And sometimes it's just not your game.
That's the benefit of teams. Kevin Whitaker's off, you know. James Baldwin might be on.
Whitaker up top, airmail, backside off the mark.
That's game.
And
that'll
that
do
is
it.
going to do it. Arizona takes game 4 and evens the series up at 2-2. We may have a 7-game series on our hand out of nowhere. We'll see what happens coming up in game 5. And we have Florentino Mendoza and Steve Schroeder for Arizona, ready to take on Dayton Weber and Mike Harvey for the Coasters in just a minute. Back live in the 2023 ACL Bag Brawl from Portland, Oregon. Jake Schronce and Chase Hunter with you, and we have a very special guest, Mr. Stacy. How you doing?
Well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Glad to be here.
We have a very great game going on between the Carolina Coasters and the Arizona Burn, tied up at 2-2, heading into game number 5. And we had to make a little bit of a change to the roster. Mike Harvey not here today. Eric Hauser stepping in for the Coasters, and we'll see if he can come in and maybe help out the Coasters taking advantage in this game. But I'd like to pick your brain about the origins of ACL Pro teams and where this all came from.
Yeah, I've been thinking about teams for a long time. Ever since I started the ACL, I always felt like teams would be a big addition to our sport as we grow and evolve the sport. So I'm happy that we're in year 2 finally. And I think it's going really well with the team names and the logos, and you're seeing people get behind it. Obviously, my home team is the Carolina Coasters, so I'm a little bit biased here on this broadcast. And with it all tied up 2-2, exciting last-minute transaction. Fortunately, they had one roster spot left where they could add a player. Yeah, but the teams, that's what makes it interesting. You never know what's going to happen. You see that team camaraderie, people cheering on each other that wouldn't normally be paired up or play against each other and cheer for each other. So I really like how it's all coming together.
Yeah, there's, countless different scenarios that go down. Even just in this game, Brandon Davis, the older brother of Eric Davis, both on opposite teams today. We thought it would have been funny if they would have played against each other. It didn't quite turn out that way. But we talk about the format of pro teams and the way that they go 7 games. Did you take that from, baseball, basketball? Was that what you were going for there?
Really, it had more to do with the broadcast than anything, but it was a nice number when we thought about what would make a good 2-hour broadcast. We really want to maximize the number of pro players we can get exposure on linear television. So the number of people that can play on CBS and CBS Sports Network this year definitely sets a record for us. We'll never have this many pros playing on linear television first in history, and so I thought that 7 was the right number for now, and we're going to keep on tweaking the format as we go, so stay tuned because next season may have some new wrinkles.
I like it.
And it's very impressive, the TV deal with CBS Sports to have the exclusive rights of pro teams matchups. How did that all come about?
Yeah, it was something that we worked on for about 4 or 5 months with CBS. Obviously, we had our pro shootout on there for the first 2 years that we were on CBS. We were really wanting to pair our pro shootout with the Super Bowl. We thought that was 2 really good 1-hour shows that could either go back-to-back or be independent of each other. And so as we evolved teams, we really wanted to get a good teams deal done, and fortunate to get a 3-year deal done here with CBS to really elevate our teams format and take it to the next level.
Well, we have Game 5 still warming up as we get set for eventually a tiebreaker matchup between Florentino Mendoza and Steve Schroeder and Dayton Weber, and the newcomer for the Coasters today, Eric Hauser. We talked about the different strategies in the way that the captains make these lineups. We see Doug Zaft and Bill Hadley, the captains for the Arizona Burn, putting themselves down in Game 6. Ty Lopez, another captain, in the final game with Game 7. What does Stacy's idea about how you would form a lineup? Would you like to go top heavy to get things going early? You want to save them for the end?
It's that's a tough question. I would probably personally go top heavy. I think it sets the tone early to kind of get your best out there and get off to a good run. I was just sitting on the court behind us, and the Florida Freeze that went out 4-0 last night took it on the chin here today. The Pennsylvania Ringers, they lost 4 of the first 5 matches, and they went kind of bottom and top heavy towards the end, and it cost them here today.
That's something we've also seen on our court earlier on in the National Series. We've seen teams jump out to 4-0 or 4-1, and I think the top heavy has been successful. So I'm interested to see, later on this season, especially for Arizona, if they do end up losing this game, you go down to Game 6 and 7, you have your top 3 players, your captains, in games that end up not helping you out in the series. And for the Burn, sitting at 4-4 coming into this event, bottom 3 in the region that they're in, only the top 2 can make it to the playoffs. So every single match counts this season.
Yeah, and I think switching to that snake draft format here this season has worked out really well.
I agree.
Versus the blind, kind of just submit your lineup. I think it added another layer of strategy to the teams format.
Well, we got live bags here now.
See Dayton Weber and Steve Schroeder thrown against each other here. I think one of the most interesting developments with the pro teams has been the ACL draft. Talk about how that kind of came to fruition.
Yeah, the draft was amazing. We really wanted to amp it up from season 1 to season 2, but so having seeded teams with some key players and having those first 3 key players already assigned to a team, and then doing the draft on top of that, I thought it made it a lot more interesting in year 2 than it was in year 1. And we're still kind of debating on what we're going to do for next season. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. But I would probably expect that that for the pros that keep their card for next season, they will probably remain on those teams, and then we'll have a supplemental draft to kind of round out the teams for next season.
And when you guys are looking to make some changes to whatever sort of events we have, pro teams, the draft, are you guys in contact with the pros and the players as well, or is this more of a front office type thing?
No, we have a pro committee that we've established that I believe has around 9 to 11 pros on it that we meet with on a regular basis throughout the season, and we cover a variety of different topics. So it's great to have that voice from the pros. That's obviously a key. They're the key to the growth of our sport. So we got to listen to them. We got to have them involved, and then also our directors, especially at the conference level, guys here like Chase.
Yep.
We have some amazing directors that give us a lot of great input throughout the season.
Stacy giving me a plug there. Thanks, Stacy.
What are some things they've already given insight on this season, if they have?
One of the big ones has been on the disciplinary side and the code of conduct thing. So setting up like really formal, like standard punishments for certain types of violations has been one. The other has been about what it's like around our events. So like you'll notice this one, our courts are a lot more spread out. That's one of the biggest complaints of the players. They feel like sometimes it gets too crowded and people are walking in to each other at matches and things like that. So we're intentionally starting to spread out our courts more, allow more room for spectators to come through and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I noticed that at the around the room, a lot of the courts are more spread out. There's a lot more space. It looks really nice out there.
Well, it seems like the players and they have a voice to improve on things here in the ACL. But first part of this game, 14-0 start for the Arizona Burn, trying to retake the lead in this series, tied up at 2 apiece here in game number 5.
Obviously, Coaster's put in a very difficult position with having to make that last-minute kind of acquisition transition. It's a tall order to expect them to try to come out and get the win. They were certainly a heavy underdog going into this game.
Coasters were one of the few teams coming into this event where they could have clinched a playoff spot by the end of this weekend with a win here today. Weber lefts it out in front. Score now 15-0. Arizona on top in commanding fashion. Stacy, with the increased improvements and popularity of the game, you'd imagine more people wanting to participate. Do you think there is a future of potentially expansion and adding on more teams as more players come to the ACL?
Whether it's expansion in the form of us increasing the number of pros that that are eligible to play, or it's having more teams with less players on the team. I could see either one of those two scenarios unfolding in the future. Not sure which direction. I still really like the 256 number that we have for our big pro events, and I think with having 250 spot and then always having 6 spots available for people to play into the pro bracket, I think one of the biggest evolutions you'll see is going to be with the PDC and how we handle people being able to play into these last available spots around our big pro events.
Yeah, the PDC, in my opinion, was a great addition. It's really nice to see, a separate gauntlet of players being able to play up and play into each pro event.
Yeah, and I think that there's just so many more players out there beyond the PDC that would really like to have that shot at getting into the main pro bracket. And similar to like a U.S. Open golf or in tennis, that always holds spots where you have these qualifiers. That's kind of the idea behind the PDC. But again, the PDC is just limited to those that are in that group. And so I think expanding that opportunity to more players and evolving the PDC, I think is important for us here next season.
Well, Arizona takes Game 5, and the 3-2 commanding lead in this series, just 1 game away from taking this match. And Stacy, thanks for joining us on the broadcast. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll bring you the next game. Jamie Graham and James Baldwin ready to take on the Arizona Burn captains, Doug Zaft and Bill Hadley, in just a minute. Back live from Portland, Oregon for the 2023 ACL Bag Brawl. Game 6 of a highly contested matchup between the Arizona Burn and the Carolina Coasters. Doug Zaft and Bill Hadley, the captains for the Burn, ready to take on Jamie Graham and James Baldwin from the Carolina Coasters. James Baldwin, just 1 pick outside of the first round, the first pick of the second. And of course, Jamie Graham, we saw yesterday, he was on a different level. Him and Matt Guy ready to take on any competitors in their way and maybe heading on to a doubles title here in Portland. Here today we'll see Jamie teaming up with James Baldwin, 7-time title holder in the ACL. He's also an avid outdoorist. He hunts, fish, all sorts of stuff.
I got to see James Baldwin play pool the other night. Great billiards player as well.
Pretty good golfer as well.
He's got it all.
He's a talented guy. Here's a spin, and we'll get things going here. Looks like Arizona will have the first bag of this one.
We had Jamie Graham on the court yesterday playing with Matt Guy. They won our doubles bracket. They're moving on to the broadcast for the pro doubles at the Bag Brawl.
It was incredible the way that they were able to just dismantle Justin Burton and Logan Chamberlain twice.
Yes.
They beat him either the same score or maybe even by an improved margin in the bracket final than they did in the winners bracket final.
Mm-hmm. You don't often see Justin Burton Jr. shaken up either, and he was visibly shaken up.
Yep.
And yeah, that was a very impressive win by Jamie and Matt.
Here on the side, you see Bill Hadley on the right, James Baldwin on the left. Hadley, the seniors world champion in 2021.
Chance for James to come walk away with some points here.
Baldwin tried to go airmail,
Misses
missed it off the backside. Unable to give his team some points. It'll stay 0-0 heading into round 3. So now we'll see Doug Zaft, 6-time returning pro. Zaft was actually a D1 scholarship swimmer at the University of Cincinnati. Qualified for Olympic trials in the 200-meter
Wow.
individual medley and the 100-meter butterfly.
Wow.
We've seen a lot of variable athletic skill sets between both these teams today. Seen bowlers, golfers, and Chase says James Baldwin is elite on the pool table.
Yeah, you can ask Corey Russell. Corey Russell was on the losing end of that game.
Zaft hits that shot. Final bag of round number 3 out of the hands of Jamie Graham here. He's got it. Still 0-0 heading into round 4. Bill Hadley throwing bags pretty well in pro teams competition, over a 30% 4-bag percentage. It'll be tough for James Baldwin to get some points up on him. Baldwin's been struggling a little bit in pro teams. Throwing under an 8 PPR this season in pro teams competition. Hadley off to the back, into the right. Chance here for Baldwin.
Chance here for 4 points.
If he can collect that right blue bag. Got one of them. Still pick up some points, though, and untie this one heading into the back half of this game. It's another look at Jamie Graham, 18-time title holder in the ACL, potentially 19 by the end of tonight if him and Matt Guy can continue their incredible display of doubles competition that we saw yesterday on the stream. It's kind of funny to watch Jamie and Matt team up together because Jamie now 2 titles behind his doubles partner Matt Guy, and if they win together, he can never really make that comeback and maybe tie him up or even retake the lead. He'll have to do it in singles. So there's a 4-bag wash in round 5. We'll head into round 6. Back to Baldwin and Hadley.
I wonder if that's part of the motivation for Matt to team up with Jamie. I'll team up with him. That way he never surpasses me. We'll just keep getting titles together.
It might be it right there. It's also one of the most daunting teams that you could go up against in a bracket. We talked about it yesterday. When you go through all of the players in our doubles bracket, over 120 titles won, and almost a third of those were coming from just Jamie Graham and Matt Guy alone. Baldwin drifting to the left this round. Hadley collects 2. Nice job there from Bill Hadley. Ties this one up, heading into round number 7. Again, if you're just joining us, 3-2 advantage for Arizona here in Game 6, trying to finish off the Coasters. But if Jamie Graham and James Baldwin have been able to figure out a way to take this win, it'll be all down to a winners-take-all Game 7 between Jeff Reynolds and Ty Lopez for the Burn and Miranda Coy and Lori Duell for the Coasters. Timeout here as we examine the situation on the boards. Dangerous situation for Jamie Graham around the hole. 2 of Doug Zaff's bags really crowding it. Jamie stepping way out here. Knocks one of Doug's through. We'll see if Doug Zaft can maybe bring that last one in. Up top, going for the airmail. Stays on, but bricks to the backside.
I think Baldwin wants to see him kind of bring both those bags in at the front.
It's going to be a tough pickup for Jamie Graham.
Oh, he
He
gets one off.
somehow, he got one, but he stayed on the backside. I don't think he was going to be able to pick that up, but that was a tough shot. Nonetheless, it's 4-2 now. Graham and Baldwin out front. 3 more rounds to go. We'll see if Arizona can finish things off or if we'll head to a winners-take-all Game 7. Baldwin still drifting to the left here. Hadley almost off the backside. Here's Baldwin.
Tied up again.
Strong showing there from Bill Hadley. Able to bring us to a 4-4 game into round number 9. Last ups here for Jamie Graham. We'll see if he can give his team a lead and keep this matchup going. Talking about the titles that Jamie Graham has, there's 3 players on the Coasters who individually have at least as many or more ACL titles as the entire Arizona Burn team. Zaff starting to clog up the hole here. Another timeout from Jamie. I'm not quite sure an airmail would do anyone any good here. Might have to go for a hard push up the middle. Two bags left for Graham, one for Doug Zaft. Jamie will step outside again. Going for that hard bar of soap. Couldn't quite get it. Zaft now taking a second. He might be able to collect that front one. Left it a little too far to the left. Jamie will take another timeout. Might be putting his partner James Baldwin in a tough position here. Tied 4-4 in round 9. If Arizona takes this win in this game, it will be a series win over the Coasters, the top team in the South region. Graham goes up top, hits the airmail, and he leaves that front bag from Doug Zaft and hanging barely on top of the hole. 5-4 heading into the final round. It's all up to James Baldwin to keep this series alive. Needs 1 point over here against Bill Hadley. Leaves that bag short. Out for a block. Inches that front bag ever so slightly closer. Hadley up front helps him out.
Uh-oh. Baldwin straight down the middle, collects both these bags. That leaves Bill in trouble.
That'll be a tough shot.
Great shot, boy!
Baldwin clears the way. Hadley's got to be careful here not to help James out.
Yes, this is a good time for a timeout to really take a look at this.
Let's go.
You can hear Miranda Coy and Lori Dool behind us taking in this matchup very closely, seeing if their Game 7 against Ty Lopez and Jeff Reynolds may be for the series.
If they win this, you guys they win this, and then we win, it's over. They win this, it's over. It's over. So you guys play next? We play next, yeah.
Let's see what he decides to do here.
Nice placement by Bill Hadley. It's going to be tough for James Baldwin to collect all of those.
We don't need another because it's over. Let's go.
Got to think short airmail drag is the strategy here.
Well, I think Jamie's saying just push right into the bags, because if you leave it on the board, at least it's a wash and it'll keep going. But if you can push one of those bags in, that'll do it.
Final bag of round 10. Baldwin, airmail.
Oh, nice shot.
He's got it.
Come on.
What a shot by James Baldwin.
Wow.
Somehow Baldwin and Graham are able to take down the Arizona Burn captains here in game number 6. And Chase, we're heading to game 7 tied
Yeah.
at 3-3.
Wow. Forcing a game 7. That's great.
Winner take all between Jeff Reynolds and Ty Lopez. And the final team for the Coasters, Miranda Coy and Lori Duell. You see them there on your screen ready to take stage. And we'll have the finale between the Burn and the Coasters up next. Back live for Game 7, winner take all between the Arizona Burn and the Carolina Coasters here at the 2023 ACL Bag Brawl. Jeff Reynolds and Ty Lopez for the Burn, ready to take on Miranda Coy and Lori Duell from the Carolina Coasters. If you're just joining us, James Baldwin hit a clutch airmail that actually ended up bouncing off the back of the board, but he got 2 of his own bags to fall through, took the win on the last shot of game number 6 to keep the Coasters alive, and we'll see which team comes out on top. Miranda Coy on your right, and you see Jeff Reynolds on the left for the Arizona Burn. Final warm-up bags being thrown here. Jeff Reynolds, the 11th pick of the second round of the most recent ACL draft. Out of Garrettsville, Ohio, teaming with Ty Lopez, the third and final captain, ready to throw bags for the Arizona Burn.
There's our spin.
And Chase, based on what we saw yesterday between Duell and Coy, I like the matchups that they went with, having Miranda Coy throw against, or excuse me, having Lori Duell throw against Ty Lopez. Lopez known for that slow-paced, methodical game. And yesterday, based on what we saw, Miranda Coy was flying through rounds against Samantha Finley, and Lori Duell likes to take her time a little bit more too. So the matchups seem to make sense to me.
Yep. And again, you know, they were the 27th seed, and they just were blazing through teams yesterday in doubles. Very impressive run by these two women. If they played like they did yesterday, then I foresee Carolina coming out winning this one.
Chance for Carolina to take an early lead in round 1. This goes in for Lori Duell without bringing in that Ty Lopez bag. It'll be a 2-0 start for Carolina. And no, she slides off the backside. Some early luck for Ty Lopez. Make it 1-0 Arizona. Jeff Reynolds here, the owner of the Reynolds Bag Company.
I have many sets of Reynolds at home. I do like the Reynolds bags.
He's been doing a lot of improvements on the business side of things. Recently built a manufacturing building. He's done investing in more machines to make jerseys in the future. Reynolds just leaves it short. Don't want to help out any throws from Miranda Coy, obviously. Final bag of round number 2. Coy up top. Airmail goes down and stays on the board. Tough shot from Coy, able to wash things out, but kind of a lucky bounce to stay on the board.
Yeah, that thing was spinning, and it just fortunately stopped at the edge.
So here's Ty Lopez now with the lead bag for the Burn in round number 3. Winner take all, game 7. Carolina looking to advance to 6-3 in matches this season. Already over a 2.5 game lead on the second place Florida Freeze.
So again, just to be clear, they win this game, they win this match, and they lock up a playoff seed. Is that correct?
I don't know after, because we've had a lot of games going on this weekend and on the broadcast. So we'll have to examine the seeding after this game.
But there certainly is a chance of that happening.
There is a chance. 6-3 is one of the best records in the entire ACL Pro teams right now. If Carolina is able to pull things out here with Lori Dool and Miranda Coy. Dool sneaks it through the middle. Big round in round 3 from Lori Dool. Make it 4-1 Coasters. Miranda Coy on the right, the first pick of round 10 for Carolina.
Ooh, rare miss.
Reynolds collects 2 up front. That barely sticks on for Reynolds. Coy, not quite. Oh. Reynolds again, barely staying on. Almost knocked his own bag off.
Still
Make it
gets
4-2. We approach the back half of Game 7 here. See if Lori Dool can continue to put points up for the Coasters. Put up 4 points last round. What a shot by Lopez, collecting 2 bags up in front of the hole. And Lopez is locked in right now. Dool with a big pickup as well, trying to wash things out. Final bag of round 5 for Ty Lopez here. On the money. Clear board, 4th bag for Lori Dool. She's got it. 2 big pickups from Ty Lopez and Lori Dool there. coming into this event, Jeff Reynolds has actually been outplaying Ty Lopez, the captain for the Burns, statistically. Over a 30% four-bag percentage. Ty Lopez just at around 13%. Chase, we were talking about it earlier on in this match. You know, we are of the strategy of you want a top-heavy lineup throughout these series, but so far, putting these top-tier players in the bottom has actually paid off for both teams.
Absolutely.
This is exactly the situation that it seems like Carolina and Arizona was preparing for. 4-4 heading into round 7. Starting to see the pressure on the face with every throw. Just 4 more rounds to go, including this one. Duel with a nice pickup. 2 more to go for her. 2 more for Ty Lopez. Big miss for Duel off the backside. Big 4-bagger potential here for Ty Lopez as well. Oh, and he left it left. Really frustrated after that one. Had a chance to take advantage even more than that. Here's Duel up in front, left it up. Not quite enough on that shot. Make it 7-4 into round 8. It'll be up to Miranda Coy to try to make a slight comeback late in this one. Miranda Coy in her sophomore season as an ACL pro. She's been playing the sport since 2016. But she has recently come on the scene in the ACL. Reynolds drifts to the backside. Potential here for Miranda Coy to help bring her squad back up in this one. Coy off to the left. Clearly she was trying to drag that back left bag, make it 9-4 now into round 9. And all of a sudden, Arizona, the sideline as well, looking a lot more comfortable.
Got a timeout here. Mental timeout.
It's all come down to this. Game 7, winner take all. Whoever takes this one will take the win for their team. Duel and Coy for the Coasters, as you see here. They got this opportunity after James Baldwin was able to hit a shot to take the win in Game 6 and force Game 7. But with just 2 rounds to go, they have to make up at least 5 points to extend this game. Duel leaves a block up in front of the hole. Trying to force a decision out of Ty Lopez here. Second timeout in a row for Lori Duell, trying to figure out what to go for here. They seem to be pretty calm, down by 5 in round number 9. Trying to keep things light.
All right, Lori. Yeah, girl. Come on.
Duell's airmail attempt just a little too long.
Are we going to see a timeout now from? No, maybe not.
Doesn't look like it. Lopez in a good position here, up by 5. Oh, and he bounced off the right side. Here's Lori Duell out of nowhere with an opportunity. Final 2 bags of round 9.
Oh,
Bounces off. Had a chance to take advantage of the miss from Ty Lopez, but she misses herself.
oh, it fell in.
Another chance for Duell. Potential for 2 points if she can put this one in without dragging any of those purple Reynolds bags. Just hanging on the edge of the.
Is it moving?
Might still be moving. They're taking a look at it. They're making sure nothing's interfering, and no, they'll say it was staying up.
I think so too.
So now it's down to Miranda Coy. To extend this game, she'll need to put up 5 points this round. Jeff Reynolds, though, he'll have to give her an opportunity to even do that. And so far, he's been throwing really well this game.
There's the blocker.
Reynolds sneaks around. Coy bounces to the backside. She actually knocked Reynolds through. And all of a sudden, things are looking pretty bleak for the Coasters.
And that will do it.
Jeff Reynolds comes through in the clutch and finishes things out in Game 7 for the Arizona Burn. What a finish between these two teams. And for the Burn, who came into this event 3rd in the West region at 4-4, they take down the top team in the South. And all of a sudden, they are tied with the Coasters, 5-4 each. And the Burn pick up a much-needed victory in ACL Pro Teams format. And Chase, what a finish.
Yes.
The 3rd National of the year, we get our best pro teams matchup on stream.
Yeah, that was a great match. That was a lot of fun to watch all the way down to the end. So,
Well, we've got more great action coming up on Court 3 later today. This afternoon, we've got pro singles for you, so make sure you stay tuned to that on ACL Cornhole TV. We'll have all the action for you, but for Chase Hunter, this is Jake Schron signing off for now.